Well, as the energy crisis deepens on the back of geopolitical tensions and bottlenecks in gas supply, maximizing energy independence is front of mind for consumers and policymakers alike. A host of drivers, including supporting decarbonization policies in place in many parts of the world, but also rising electricity costs, are driving demand for distributed solar and storage to new highs. A reason more than enough for us today to learn about new inverter and battery storage solutions from German-originated power electronics specialist Sunways. Hello and welcome. My name is Maria Maish, an editor at PE Magazine Global, and it is my pleasure to be your host today. So, while putting solar on our rooftops is certainly a great way of putting downward pressure on our electricity bills, batteries are a key to an even greater energy independence. For reasons such as maximizing consumption of self-generated power using rooftop PV's output for EV charging, or even backup power supply, demand is ramping up. But battery manufacturers across the world are scrambling to secure critical materials as car makers increasingly go electric. Long wait times, as well as price hikes, have become commonplace. In terms of inverters, the situation is also dramatic, and shortages prevail there too, though this time for microchips. This is, of course, not a new issue. It has been floating around since the beginning of last year, impacting supplies of inverters and pushing out lead times in many parts of the world. On top of this comes skyrocketing freight costs and other pandemic-induced logistic issues. And all this shows just how trying it can be at the moment to launch new products that will be readily available for buyers. So it is a great thing that we have a chance today to learn about top-notch quality battery and inverter products that Sunways will present ahead of their market launch. Without further ado, to our topics today, which include introduction to Sunways and its product portfolio. Then we're going to hear about the new inverters, product features, and technical details. Then Sunways will present their new battery solution and talk in detail about specification and its capabilities. This will all be complemented by detailed insights into their hybrid inverters, work modes, as well as battery energy storage possibilities and opportunities. And finally, we will have our Q&A section that will be a chance for you in the audience to take part in the discussion. Now, representing Sunways and joining us today, I'm delighted to introduce Stefan Halmer, Vice President of Sales, and Tomasz Gernyo, Head of Business Development. Stefan, Tomasz, if you could briefly turn your cameras on to let the audience put faces to those names. Hello to both of you. And thanks. But first, before we get started, a little bit of practical information about today's event for some of you who might be joining us for the first time. So please get involved and use your chance to tap on Stefan's and Tomasz's expertise and holistic business understanding today. Don't hold back. Send any questions you might have via the Q&A tab, and we'll endeavor to get to as many of them as possible. One question that we often hear from you is, will the slides be available afterwards? Well, the answer is yes. All registrants to today's webinar will be receiving an email from the Big Marker webinar portal with a link to the recording, which can be even shared further with your friends and colleagues after our event today. And of course, the PE Magazine webinar team is standing by to answer any questions you might have about the Big Marker platform or any other administrative matter. Without further ado, I'll hand over to Stefan, who will kick off the presentation by sharing all the relevant information about Sunways, and then pass the floor over to Tomasz for product announcement and insights. Take it away, Stefan.
Thank you very much, Maria. Welcome again to our webinar today of Maximizing Energy Independence, New Battery Storage and Inverter Solutions from Sunways. My name is Stefan Halmer. I'm the Vice President of Sales in the Sunways Germany and responsible for the sales activity in Europe. I've been working for Sunways for more than 12 years, and I'm located in Germany, France. I would like you to say a few words about Sunways. Then my colleague Thomas will take over and explain the advantages of our energy storage solutions. the leading features to maximize energy independence, and the different work mode and our benefits. About Sunways. Sunways, a heritage branch founded 1993 in Constance, Germany. 1996, we launched our first inverter generation as a photovoltaic pioneer. 1999, we started to produce solar cells. In 2001, we had initial public offering on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. 2008, we launched our first central inverter. In 2012, we launched the first generation of energy storage systems. So when we talk about energy storage systems today, we're talking about more than 10 years of experience. In 2014, we get a part of the Shenzhen Clean Energy Group, and 2018, we get with the BESS Group a strong partner to reinvest in our production in advanced facilities and start with R&D of our newest inverter and storage generation. 2021, we launched our new inverter generation in 2020 and the storage in 2021. This year, we reopened the Sunways Germany and we plan to go public in the future. Our global presence. We are present, we represented in 5 continents right now. Our headquarters and the production is located in China. The capacity of our actual factory is 5 gigawatts per year. For Europe, we have service and operation center in Germany, a warehouse in Netherlands, and further bases in Poland and Czech Republic, and in other countries around the world. Sunways deliver now global in over 60 countries. Our focus market right now is Europe with nearly 80% market. Sunways products are mainly delivered to quality-oriented markets. Thank you for your attendance, and I hand over to Thomas, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tomasz Grnio, and I have pleasure to present our product solutions with energy storage focus. And I don't want to make it very long and show you the most important things regarding our products. As my colleague Stefan mentioned before, we are very experienced in the storage system development. We are one of the first to develop on-grid transformers inverters and the first ones of storage inverters. Our motto is energy connects all, and according to this philosophy, we would like to provide all the systems to manage the energy, to produce the energy, and to store the energy, also to manage it inside your systems. That's why we have full range of products from on-grid inverters, which we were started off, and from 1 to 125 kilowatts, and the storage systems, which we will talk more today, and also storage systems which we now introducing more to all the markets. Also, all the systems we provide and offer to our clients is our own development, and there are our own product based on the Herrick and Schaff topology and working mode. I mean, the issue is that we can provide you everything from inverter to smart management system, and also through our application and monitoring platform, you can manage your systems from your mobile phone, wherever you are in the world. Today, our focus is on hybrid systems and energy storage solutions. So we have few lines of products in this area, starting from single phase energy storage systems with hybrid inverters, STH from 3 kilowatt up to 8 kilowatt, and the same looking very similar. We have STR, so retrofitting system. This is like AC coupled inverter. That's the solution for existing plants. So also you have the range from 3 to 8 kilowatts, but all the STH and STR can work as a retrofit. So you can use STH also as retrofit system if you need such product. Also with three-phase inverter, we have our product which we provide for the last more than a year. It's STH from 4 to 12 kilowatts, three-phase hybrid inverter, along with AC coupled inverter in the same sizes. This is very good product which we provided to, as Stefan mentioned, to up to 60 countries, and we are very proud of it. It's working very well in even harsh environments in remote places of the world. And our latest product, which will be presented on Intersolar Fairs next week, and we showed it also on Solar Solutions in the Netherlands last month. The big and powerful inverter for big residential and small commercial installations, STH from 15 to 33 kilowatts. It is maybe not very big itself. It's quite light and well designed, but it's very powerful. One of the most powerful systems for the households and small commercial installations. 33 kilowatts is not so popular among the other producers, so this is unique product from Sunways. Also, we developed AC coupled inverter in the same size. As I mentioned, this only difference is that it doesn't have DC inputs, and it's cheaper to provide you the opportunity to make your on grid system already existing to add the battery and the backup power. In this terms, you can check now how to connect this, and we have three ways of the systems with hybrid and storage solutions. This is the standard one with three-phase hybrid system. So you just connect it instead of on-grid inverter and add the lithium ion battery or any other high voltage battery, which I will mention later what batteries we can use for it. And this system can work totally off-grid. Also, this is one of the key features with our products, without any warranty exemptions, without any problems. The mode is in, and as you can see, you can put this even whole house, whole system. You can put through this hybrid inverter, and you don't have to worry about the problems with switch over time or any problems with the delay, because it's less than 10 milliseconds to switch from grid to off-grid mode. And the installation is very simple, and shouldn't you shouldn't have any problems to connect it. The other scenario is with these AC coupled inverters, which I mentioned, that the same powers which we have with hybrid systems. The on-grid system can be based on any inverter available on the market. Doesn't matter which producer it is, because you connect it to the AC side. And this retrofit SDR product is meant to be AC charger. I mean, to charge the battery and provide backup power as additional UPS. You can also add it to very big installation, just a small one, to provide you power to some critical loads, into like servers, monitoring systems, or like cameras, and some basic needs which you can have. So for more powerful systems, if you need it, our hybrids inverters can be paralleled up to 10 units, and can be managed from a single meter and single data logger. But it's we don't have enough time to explain all the features and all the advantages we can provide with this system. But I think if you will be interested, I invite you for Intersolar to look at our products on our booth. We will have all the systems on our booth, B3 360. So I can explain you all then. Going further with the products, I will show you how it looks like and what features they have. Main issue with our products is that they are very mature, and we based on our long experience, nearly 30 years on the market with our teams in Germany, allows us to make the product very advanced and very mature and secure for you as a client. So, as I mentioned, it can be connected up to 10 units, and this UPS switchover is less than 10 milliseconds. So that's very important thing for the markets which suffers from the instability in the grid. So we can be very secure with the system. And the build of the inverter itself is very prepared for the harsh environment. We have aluminum alloy die casting shell. It's one piece of aluminum covered with anti-corrosive paint. So it's not like radiator and the other devices are not connected to the base, but it's the base itself is a big radiator. So our inverters inside have around 10 Celsius degrees temperature less. So for countries like Australia, Africa, and South America, where the temperatures are very high, then we have big advantage in that. Also, that we use for all our systems OLED displays, not standard LCD, which are easily burned out by the sun. We use OLED displays, which were tested up to 85 degrees Celsius and can last at least 25 years or even 50 years of production. So, and last but not least, we are capable of connecting even the biggest available modules, which depending on the size of the inverters, from 13 to 15 amps input current. So this is really prepared for all the even biggest bifacial units. So our first product is the STH 3 to 8 kilowatts. So it's based on the same typology as all other products from hybrids. So the appearance and the look of the inverter is pretty much the same for all the products from the STH series. As you can see, it's OLED display which shows the battery indicator and also the screen with the menu and the production, and one button. You can not only you can use the application, but also you can if you don't have mobile phone with you or any other things, you can use the screen and the button to set up the inverter. And we use only high voltage batteries, even for single phase inverters. This is something also not so popular yet, but in our opinion, this allows to reduce cost of the system in the future. Also, it allows to fast charging and discharging, and the system itself is more stable than with the low voltage batteries. So in here you can see that this is 30 amps charging and discharging power, and you can connect the battery size from 5 to 20 kilowatt hours. So for single phase small residential installation, it's more than enough, and you can overload the backup port, so you can connect all the whole switchboard over the house to this through this inverter, and then you don't need to any external devices to make this island's protection from the grid. Similar parameters has the STR system. It's as you see on the photo, it is missing only the DC inputs. It's cheaper and it's compatible with most of single and three phase inverters. The meter and the city clamps and all other devices are in the box, are already connected with the inverter, so you don't have to worry about cabling, connecting, crimping tools, and so on. And this is also important that it can work even if it's single phase. It can work with a three phase installation based on whatever on-grid inverter you have. Going to three phase systems, it's a little bit bigger, from 4 to 12 kilowatts. Discharging is up to 25 amps. And the most important feature here is the phase unbalanced output. This is very important for many countries, and this is the requirement from the grid operators, like in Czech Republic. So this is product prepared for that, and it can balance the phases, even if it's not working with the battery or PV. It can balance the phases. And the very important thing is that when it's switch over to off-grid mode within less than 10 milliseconds, it can last of 200% AC overloading for 60 seconds, allowing more powerful devices to start up, because as you know, many devices on the beginning of work, they have peak consumption, so it can be the many inverters tripped because of its overloading. Wide battery range is also quite important because it's from 135 volts, high voltage system, so it's enough of 3 units of battery, so from 768 to 20 kilowatt hours, and you can parallel up to 10 units in the system. Also, the same features are with the STR. STR product, as I mentioned, you can connect it to any of existing installation, even very big. You just connect it to the single AC cabling, and you can make the separate load load line to connect any of critical critical demand units. And our newcomer, this is, I think, having talks with you during the recent first, I know that this will be very, very popular product. We have a lot of questions about this size of inverters. It's maybe not very big in terms of commercial installation, but for residential and the small commercial ones, it is very powerful enough. The same appearance, and the connectors, as you see, are a little bit different. We use very top of the line products like Phoenix Contact, Staubli, Santon, Panasonic devices inside. All the features like pretty much the same as with our previous product line, but here you can charge and discharge up to 50 amps, so it's ready for bigger loads, of course. And the battery size is also very wide, because it's from 135 volts to 800 volts, so you can connect up to 33 kilowatt hours with our battery systems stackable, which I will show you in the next slide. But here you can, for now, you can connect up to 3 units in parallel, so you can make 100 kilowatt system with three of this inverters as the biggest one. So we are looking forward for this product. You can see it in our booth next week. But also, I think it will be very popular in terms of the size and the lack of competitive products from other producers. And our battery is STE BESS, so it's very easy to install, and it's stackable. It contains of base and the BMS on top, and the BMS itself is already equipped with a battery, 2.5 kilowatt hours. So you have like for single phase, you have 5.12 kilowatt hour capacity. So you just need one battery unit, BMS, and the base to put it on. And there is no cablings, no cable connections. You just plug it one on another, and there are connectors on the bottom and on top of each layer. So it's very easy to install, and very easy to make it work by a single person. So it's really nice product, and only it takes like 1 hour to fully charge, because it's high voltage system, and we use only one type of batteries for all our product lines. And I think this is also a very big advantage of the system, because you don't have to worry about other type of battery for single phase, different for 3 phase, the more powerful also use bigger. That's we simplify it, and based on our experience, it's the best way to provide a very good and reliable product to the market. Also, I think this will be the question for sure from you. We are compatible with other batteries from different producers. Now we have compatibility with Pylon-Tech, Dynas, Alboet, or Watsonic. And we are working, for example, with BYD also to make their batteries compatible with our inverters. Plus, of course, if any of the producers of any of you have any other high voltage battery types, we can check if we are compatible with it, and we can do the compatibility if necessary. Also, we are developing now the bigger system for this 15 to 33 kilowatts inverter. Allowing to parallel two stocks of battery and make this 66.56 kilowatt hour capacity for the bigger installations. I would like to show you a little bit about working modes of hybrid systems, because I assume that not all of you have the knowledge about the hybrid systems, and maybe this is something new, how the hybrid systems can work. So the standard working mode is self-consumption mode, when you provide the energy from PV system and then this energy moves to power loads, and then if there is any surplus, it charges the battery. And if there is also some surplus after the charging the battery, the energy goes to the grid. Of course, you can make this zero export with when you cannot export to the grid. Of course, this is possible. You have the meter with city clamps. You can set it up, and that's not a problem. And the other way, when there is not enough power from the PV system, then first it uses batteries, and then if there is not enough power also from the battery, then grid is in use. So that's the most popular mode for many systems. The other one is the variation of this one is you can save the battery for the time you may need it, especially in the countries where there are some instabilities in the grid. And when you want to save the battery, you can always set this peak loading, peak load shifting function, and limit the power from the grid or to the grid, and save the battery. So if there is no need to use the battery, you can take the power from the grid to keep the battery full for the time you may need it because of the problem with the grid. So this is like the in the general mode you can turn on this function. Also, the UPS, I strongly recommend, if you will use this as an on-grid system, for example, our inverter or any other hybrid system, they usually have this UPS mode to make it work when the grid trips. So that's the general way. And also the one without grid, you can make it work with in this working mode. You can see it's the general one. In the predetermined periods, you can or to turn on the charging or discharging. You have in your application, you have a calendar. You can set it up to each hour, different working mode for weekends, different working modes for the weekdays. For example, when you have EV car charger or something like that, you can predefine the working through your mobile phone. You can actually set each hour of the week with the different modes of working with the system we provide. So it's very flexible and very useful for most of the clients because they can work for the hybrid system to maximize the usage of the energy from the battery and from the PV system. And of course, as I mentioned, all our products can work with off-grid mode. You can connect it without grid totally. Of course, you must first check what size of battery, what size of inverter you must have to provide the best solution to your house, to your system. But we don't have any warranty exemptions, which limits you to work only part-time on off-grid or something. You can work 100% of the time on off-grid mode. It's working very stable, and we've been tested in different countries. But I urge to that before preparing this off-grid mode installation, to calculate the usage and calculate the power you must have to provide the electricity, because sometimes it happens that it's the expectations are much higher than the system can provide. So this is a key thing to when you develop the off-grid project to calculate all the usage and all the battery size and PV size in the different period of time in the year, because for example in Europe in December, or in South like Africa, is totally different sun power, so it can be totally different systems. And what's the key benefits going to the end with this hybrid systems presentation? What's the key benefits of having the hybrid system or retrofit system with the hybrid ones? It's for sure it's usage of the energy during the time when you don't have PV power or the grid is off. So this hybrid systems allows you to maximize the green energy consumption, and even you can reduce your bills up to zero, or in off-grid mode you can totally be disconnected from the grid. Our technology based on high voltage batteries allows you to fast charging and discharging power from the battery, and that make you more comfortable with the power from your system, because when you can fastly charge the system during the day after like the night without grid, then it's more stable especially for the countries with problems with the grid. Also, the big advantage is this output overloading up to 200% for 60 seconds. This also allows you, when you connect the hybrid system to your home, that in on-grid mode you can connect much higher power, like up to 200% during the period where you're using on-grid. For example, if you have 10 kilowatt inverter, you can connect up to 20 kilowatts of the power load on-grid mode, and it will go through the inverter. But you must remember that when the grid will fall, then it will limit to 10 kilowatts in 60 seconds. But this allows you to save your money to not to separate the critical load connection, and not to use the separate devices to change between the power from inverter and power from the grid, and in on-grid and off-grid modes. And supporting phases and balances also is very important for many countries, and allows you to save money on unbalanced usage of power, because some energy meters just calculate all the cost based on the highest demand from phase. I mean, you have 3 phases, and which one use 6 kilowatt and the others 1 kilowatt only. They will count 6 kilowatt usage. So it also with 3-phase system, it's also benefit for you to stabilize the usage of the grid. And of course, the management system of the system now it's very popular in many countries. It's even must have with new system like a EMS system to manage the energy usage and how to manage between like heat pump, EV chargers, or something like that. With our solution, you can also connect this to your EMS system if you have any, or if you want to develop something dedicated to your home. Our system can be connected to most of the EMS systems, and it can be manageable from the outside source. Okay, for the most of the things, it's all, and I think we can show you all the products on Intel. So also we are planning to have one new product soon, all in one hybrid system, single phase up to 8 kilowatts and 3-phase up to 12 kilowatts. So that's something new for us, and stay tuned for the news from Sunways about this new products. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Tomasz. That was wonderfully informative. Stefan is also back on stage. That's great. Thank you both for sharing your presentation and your expertise with us. So in case you're coming in late to this webinar, Stefan Halmer and Tomasz from Sunways have just announced 2 new inverters and battery storage system. And now is the Q&A time. So I will be putting your questions to Stefan and Tomasz. We had a lot of interest coming through, and thank you for putting the questions in already. So as expected, there are quite a few questions about the availability of the new products. So just to cover some of them, they're coming from different regions, so everyone is asking about their own region. But Stefan, maybe you can take this one. So are the products readily available for order, and in which markets will there be available and certified?
We have them. We have some shortages as well as all of the impact of all of our market competitors have it too, and but we have some still some amounts for this year we can deliver, and we can deliver it into the European market and also in the South America and Asian market. And we also have the certifications for this market as well. But if there is a request, please send it to us after this webinar, and then we will give you a response as well.
Yes, sure. That can be discussed in more detail later on. Tomasz, what warranties do you offer on your inverters and batteries?
Most of the inverters for most of the markets has a 5-year warranty, but we can offer with 10-year warranty, even extended up to 20 for the inverters on grid and hybrid. And for batteries, with our standard warranty terms is 6,000 cycles and 10 years. So that's the standard terms of 5 years for most of the countries is a standard, and 10 years for battery.
Okay, thank you, Tomasz. Stefan, can you talk more about the battery chemistry you're using? Are the batteries manufactured in-house, or do you have a battery manufacturer partnership? And will the units, are they will be available in the African markets?
We have a lithium technology battery. Lithium ferrit, and we have a cooperation with other battery manufacturer at the moment, and in the past we will in the future we'll build our own battery packs as well. And all the technology, BMS and so on, is built in-house.
Very well. Okay, Thomas, you mentioned that the inverter can configure up to 10 units in parallel. Is it for a single load or all systems? Let's say we use 10 units for load A and 5 units for load B. Any issues with the configuration?
It depends. It's a few. You can do this both two ways, because you can connect in parallel up to 10 units and connect it to the prologger, for example, to be a manageable system, or you can do this with a master slave thing. So it should be connected to one point, and there shouldn't be issues with the synchronization of the grid or synchronization of the critical load backup things. But it's always worth checking the actual situation, the connection points, and how it looks like the whole system. But we can help you to develop the system. If there will be any questions with that, we can gladly support you with that. But in general, it can be workable.
Yeah, it's doable, right? Very well. Depends. Stefan, is it possible to push battery data to other independent monitoring solutions?
Yes, in the future it will be possible. Even SolarLog or Media Control, it's a daughter of Sunways as well, and so we work together with them. So
yeah,
it will be possible.
And is there remote monitoring capability? I think you already talked about it. I mean, Thomas.
Yes, there is remote. We have our own solution, but also you can connect it through RS485 to any other based on Modbus Sunspec protocol. So, but in general, you can connect with our system through your mobile phone from every corner of the world where you have the internet.
All right. So people are also asking about additional specifications for the battery system. Such as weight, operating temperature, input-output power. Stefan, can you share some more details?
Maybe Thomas, do you have all the details?
It's,
yeah, sure.
The best way will be to visit our website and download the data sheet of the batteries, because it's now I cannot provide you with the screen, but in general it's the unit is the battery unit is 256 actual kilowatt hours, and the cycles working temperatures is up to -10, and it's IP 56, so it should be working fine with most of the solutions. But I urge you to check the data sheet or catalog on our website for more detailed information now.
And
Yes,
also
okay,
the available certifications.
Sure.
Pardon?
Yes, for more details, absolutely. But that means that your battery can be installed outside, right?
Yes, but undercover, we always suggest, because there is no external connections. Everything is covered, so it has proper IP. But should always be undercover, not to be facing rain or something direct on the battery system.
Sure. Okay, Stefan, is it a whole home backup capability that we were talking about, also for large appliances such as AC?
Yes, you can use it as a whole backup system, yes. And also,
Yes.
if you have
So for
if you have a 10 kilowatt inverter, you have also 10 kilowatt backup in the system integrated. So if you have a 5 kilowatt inverter, you have a 5 kilowatt backup three-phase integrated in the inverter.
Yeah, sure thing. So Tomasz, even before the webinar, we had a little chat about just how much of a burden freight costs and logistic hiccups represent in the industry today. And our audience seems to be also interested in this aspect of the supply chain. So here comes one question, and there are a couple of more similar ones. How does transportation cost affect solar industry, and what can be done to reduce that burden, if anything?
There is no simple answer to that question. I think many companies now are thinking how to do this. In terms of logistic costs, the simple solution is to move some production to closer to the client, but it's not always possible. And because of the situation in Ukraine and because of the COVID situation in China now. Some of the usual routes to develop to provide the products. I mean the rails or sea freight is very occupied and sometimes impossible to send, as we have seen in Shanghai port, for example. So there is no simple answer. The best solution will be to move part of the productions to closer, not in one part of the world, but also the increase the logistics. I mean more routes, more options, like the Road and Belt Initiative also tries to develop more routes. From China to Europe or to Africa, or South America. But always it depends. It's a very big subject to discuss, and
Sure.
it's more politics than economics here, even because it's
Yes.
it's not up to us.
Yes, absolutely. Not everything in our power to fix, but yeah, let's continue with the more technology aspect of what type of a meter would you recommend for your battery?
I mean, from the meter. Sorry, I will take this one because the meter is inside the box, as I mentioned. We have two types of the meters. One with external types of monitoring and one connected to the inverter itself. So you don't have to worry about the meter. When you open our hybrid inverter, you have the meter and all the cables already connected to the inverter. So you just need to hang it on the wall, connect with the Ethernet cable, which is already with RJ45 connector, and just plug it into the meter. It's provided in the box, and then the other cable to the BMS. So it's you don't have to worry about buying any external devices or meters because all you have in the box.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very well. That answers the question properly. So, Stefan, one person in the audience is asking, can I add a generator to support loads in off-grid mode?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can load the battery by a generator over AC connection. Yes, no problem.
Tomasz, anything to add to this one?
Yeah. It's possible. It will synchronize with the generator. It's always question how it will be connected in the switchboard, in how it will be handled, and what type of generator it will be. But in general, yes, Stefan is right. It's doable. It's not causing problems.
Okay. What is the recommended depth of discharge for the battery? Or is that again too much of a specs? We should take a look in those details. Yeah, putting you on spot there, but
depth of discharge is also determined by the system itself. If it's very the battery is in constant use, it's not good to have it very deeply discharged. But if the battery is used very rarely, I mean the grid is stable and you use grid most often, you can assume like 10%. You can leave the 10% of the battery, right? But in the terms that you use very often, the battery, I would recommend like 40% to keep it just in case you will have longer grid failure or something like that. But this is case by case. This is not general rule for this.
For all installations, right? Stefan, one person is asking for a piece of advice. Says, I have already a PV system installed on my roof. In order to increase the amount of self-generated power, I was told to install a heat pump first before installing a battery storage. Is that correct?
It depends also as well, because it depends on the cost of for the energy, and also the customer have to look what it's for the best solution for him. It could be a good solution to buy a heat pump first, but we don't have to. It depends what you want to do and also the cost of the energy and so on.
Yeah, sure. Tomasz, anything to add?
It's like Stefan said, it's always the economical choice. If the energy prices are pretty stable, or the system, also if you have net billing, net metering in the grid, there are a lot of issues we must take into consideration. It's not there will be the different situation in Italy with subsidy for battery, or in Poland or in South Africa where there's no subsidies at all. So it always depends on many cases. But in general, yes, that's a good solution to have heat pump instead of batteries, because you can use the energy like self-consume energy more during the day without battery system.
Yeah, sure. Okay, and with that, I think that is a great place to leave for today. First, big thanks to all of you for joining us, and a big thanks to all of you who submitted the question. We really do value those contributions to the discussion. A special thank you, of course, to Stefan and Tomasz, and to all at Sunways for initiating this session today, and of course to my colleagues at PV Magazines who have worked to pull things together yet again. This webinar is coming to an end, but we have much more for you to enjoy. The May edition of PV Magazine is coming out already next week. It will be up for grabs in Intersolar, and we have really a huge issue, over 130 pages, fully packed with high quality reports and investigations into the ongoing crisis, such as ripple effects of the war conflict in Ukraine on the solar markets, as well as what's in store for renewables in Russia as Western sanctions bite. Spoiler alert, nothing good. In the context of today's topic, energy independence, we also examined Europe's efforts to reestablish itself as a solar manufacturing hub, and we got to the latest on cell technology pathways India might take as it pursues its big cell and module investment plans. We are also taking a closer look at what Germany's distributed energy storage market has to offer, how Australia grapples with the issue of data daytime PV overload on its electricity grids, as well as some exciting solar applications such as skyscraping solar or canal top PV. As always, the magazine is additionally packed with our usual selection of expert columnists tackling the past month's hot button issues and offering their take on the latest trends in technology, pricing, and more. PV Magazine Global is available both in print and digital formats via an annual subscription. So take note of the subscription discount code we have on offer as well. You can get the 10% discount with the webinars 10 code, and we do encourage you to use it. And we always have fresh solar industry news published online on our websites with the most read stories just now, including one about vertical agrivoltaic projects in Japan and some hydrogen news. There are also quite a few webinars coming up. As you can see, we have also the ones in Spanish. This is the advantage of our multilingual editorial team. But for the latest information and all you need to know about our webinars, head to pvmagazine.com/webinars. That's just about it. One last thing, a survey will pop up after the webinar. We'd appreciate your thoughts and feedback on how it all went. And we do this for you, as you know, not for us, so any insights will go far. Thank you all for watching this webinar, and wherever you are in the world, I wish you a good day or good evening, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye now.